If you're thinking about moving to Frisco, Texas, you've probably heard it all. It's the perfect place to live.
Or it's growing so fast, buy now.
But as local realtors who want you to make the right decision, we're here to give you the pros and cons.
Before we start, I'm Holly Haven.
And I'm Andy Haven.
And we are the Haven Home Team, your North Texas no-filter real estate team.
Now, Frisco has amazing schools, booming job opportunities, and top-tier amenities. But is it all sunshine and smooth traffic?
Not exactly.
From rising home prices to crowds that never stop growing, there are some big things you need to consider before making the move to Frisco, Texas.
And stick around, because by the end of this video, you will know if Frisco is the right fit for you, or if you should keep looking.
Let's dive in. Starting with number 8, we have excellent schools. Frisco, Texas is known for its excellent schools, private schools, and multitude of different elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools to choose from. They serve students from Frisco, Plano, McKinney, and Little Elm areas, covering many different options for housing. These schools work hard to make lessons interesting and are known for their high ratings of education. Another school is LCA, or Legacy Christian Academy, a private school that teaches students from pre-K all the way up to grade 12. It helps students learn important skills and grow strong. In Frisco, each school cares about every student and makes sure that learning is a happy adventure. The community loves these schools and works together to help every child shine.
Coming in at number 7, public transportation.
Ooh.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of public transportation options in the North Texas area. However, there are transit systems, especially if you're headed into downtown, kind of from that South Frisco, Plano area. There are options. We do also have services to help 65 and older, disabilities, people who need assistance getting to doctor's appointments. There are some really great community options, but I wouldn't say that a transit system is going to be a pro for anywhere living in North Texas. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree. And I think honestly, when it comes to transportation, you're more likely to use something like Uber or Lyft to get around if you don't have a car. I do think that that's going to be your next best option, but obviously that's not a cheap option. So it's something you'll want to consider if you're moving to Frisco, Texas and you don't have a car.
Yes, so having a car in North Texas is absolutely paramount. If you're moving from another big city and you're used to walkable space, we really don't have a lot of that. If you were living in downtown, it would look like downtown Dallas, it would look a little different. But being in the suburbs in Frisco, you're definitely going to find that you are commuting around the city and outside the city to really get to all the places you would want to go.
Yeah. With that being said, let's move on to number 6, a good proximity to Dallas. This is one of the best things I honestly think that Frisco has to offer. You're about 30 minutes to downtown Dallas, which is amazing. We have the Dallas North Tollway, which is incredible. You do have to pay to be on the tollway, but using your tollway pass makes it a lot cheaper. You can actually choose how much money to put into the account each month. It automatically drafts, and anything over that, you do get a bill showing how much you owe. So it is really nice. You can budget for those things. A lot of companies in the area also do pay your tolls if you're somebody who uses a company car and has to be on the tollway for a lot of your work. It is nice that that's something that they do offer. In Dallas, there's lots of really unique and neat places to see. There's the Perot Museum for one, which I went as a child and it's somewhere I would still go to this day. It's such a cool museum, so much interaction.
It's really great for all ages. Same with the aquarium.
Yes.
The aquarium in downtown Dallas it's worth the toll or the Uber or whatever you're going to use to get down there. It is definitely a kind of a must-see for all ages.
There's also some notable restaurants. Hudson House for one, that's one that me and my friends frequent often. It's technically an oyster bar, but they have lots of different food options for your picky eaters to people who want raw oysters, right out of the shell.
Yeah, in Frisco, talking about the proximity to Dallas, the great thing is Frisco really has everything you're going to need.
Yeah.
But having that close proximity to Dallas just really opens up the options for more brunch places, more mimosas, more cocktails, more high-end dinners.
Well, and I think the one thing that a lot of people like, people who have children, the zoo is really awesome. They do offer a season pass. I think it's fairly cheap. We can get those numbers for you and drop those down below. But it's a season pass, so you can go all year long, take your kids as many times as they want. And that's a beautiful zoo. There's so many animals to see there. So really cool. Dallas is definitely a place you want to be close to if you don't want to be in city center.
Coming in at number 5, and I would say this is a topic that comes up often when we are speaking to clients wanting to move to North Texas, specifically Frisco.
Yeah.
What's the weather like?
Oh my gosh, are there so many tornadoes?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, especially in the last few years. Growing up, we were in Tornado Alley. So in the last 15 to 20 years, that's kind of fallen off. They've stated we're not in Tornado Alley anymore. But unfortunately, in the last 2 years, we have swept back into Tornado Alley. So the further north you go, typically the more damage you're gonna get. But Frisco does see lots of hail. We see very high winds. We had a windstorm last week. It's just something you kind of have to be prepared for. Just know that your insurance is going to be a little bit higher.
Right.
How often do we get new roofs in Texas?
Every 2 to 5 years for most people.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate, but it's something that you'll just want to kind of keep in the back of your mind. Like, hey, I should probably keep a little extra money if I have to pay my deductible on my roof this year.
We don't really get snow, even though we've had a little bit of snow in the last few years, but we do get icy weather, which means icy roads. If you come from a part of the country that gets more snow, we look really silly when we close schools the day before one drop of participation drops, because we know if we get freezing rain overnight, some of our outlying areas have a hard time getting buses, certain roads, making sure everybody can get to school safely. That's really the reason that we shut down schools and a lot of businesses in North Texas.
And even Dallas, even if you're not in a very rural area, we have so many bridges in Dallas. Every single one of our highways is on a bridge, and it causes major traffic, major issues whenever it comes to people just not knowing how to drive. So if it's icy outside, maybe just stay off the roads for your safety. We do have a lot of things recently where the National Weather Service will actually state that you should not drive unless it's absolutely serious that you have to drive in that moment, just because people don't know how to drive in it and it becomes more of an issue than it's worth. So just something to keep in mind if you're moving to Texas.
So, we know we look silly. We apologize up front, but we want you to be aware of why we're shutting down early when we have those strange weather patterns.
Moving on to number 4, the great sports scene that Frisco has to offer. Frisco, Texas is a great place for sports lovers. The one big spot is the Star, the Dallas Cowboys training facility. It is a large and modern indoor stadium called the Ford Center, and it can seat over 12,000 people, which is absolutely crazy. There's also a really cool private
club,
the Cowboys Club.
The Cowboys Club.
What do you think about that? You've visited a few times.
The Cowboys Club is amazing. It is a members only facility, or you can go with a guest who is a member, obviously. They do have a pretty high buy-in, but it's a really great facility. It is if you get the opportunity to go as a guest, I highly recommend it. You can actually go out on the terrace, you can see the main practice field. The food is amazing. The cocktails are great. The staff and service are excellent. And that is the only private club really in that area. And there's lots of other really cool restaurants in the Star as well.
Another exciting part of the Frisco sports team is the local teams that we have. The Frisco Rough Riders are a minor league baseball team that play at the Dr. Pepper Ballpark. They are the minor league team for the Texas Rangers, which is really fun. FC Dallas is also a major league soccer team that plays at Toyota Stadium, which is in downtown Frisco. Their games are full of energy, and many young players train in their youth academy. So it's something that if your kids are really into club soccer or want to get into playing soccer professionally, the FC Dallas club is amazing. It goes, I believe, all the way from like age 6 all the way through high school. And then it gives them a chance to play at a higher level. So that's really awesome.
All right, coming in at number 3, the hot summers. It gets so hot here, guys. Our humidity levels are really kind of where the problem comes in. August is over 100 degrees for the majority of August. Our summers tend to fall well through September and many years into October. I guess the benefit of having these warmer summers is that we do get to use our swimming pool pretty much from May all the way through September. And even into October and much of November, we don't have really cold temperatures. We are a much more moderate climate. We could have a 30-degree day, and 24 to 36 hours later, we could have a high of 75 or 80 degrees during what we call our winter months. So we do kind of, bear through that really hot, humid summer to get to, our nicer fall and spring weather, which we get to enjoy the outdoors the majority of the time. Okay, coming in at number 2, we have modern amenities and infrastructure. If you're moving from other parts of the country, it can feel very different coming to North Texas. The oldest buildings we have, guys, were built in the 60s, and the majority of the buildings were built in early 2000s or late 90s. So you're going to find that we might have a higher tax rate than you're used to on property taxes. However, we have very good school districts, highly rated schools and hospitals and medical centers all over Frisco and with easy proximity. So those things are all a benefit. We have nice smooth roads. I mean,
for the most part,
there's some potholes, right? But for the most part, our infrastructure is really nice. It feels really clean. It feels very modern and updated. But the downside to that is we do have higher property taxes than a lot of people are used to in other parts of the country.
Yeah, and I think taking that into consideration, you're moving to a booming area, one of the fastest growing cities in America. It has been for years. I know Salina, Texas is the next one we'll talk about in another video coming up soon, but Frisco has been a booming area. It's the next Dallas. It is a part of the DFW Metroplex, so it's something you want to consider. You aren't moving to a rural area, so that's something, just take that in mind. With that being said though, so many awesome restaurants and just opportunities for growth. Lots of businesses are moving here.
But there's one place that we all know and love and that we refer everyone who comes to the Frisco area to eat, especially if they're taking their family to dinner. What is it?
Babe's Chicken Dinner House. And I'm a little biased. I did work there all through high school and up and through college. But when I tell you it is the best Southern food that you will ever have, you will want to be rolled out on a wheelbarrow. Like, that's truly your only option. People jokingly would come up to me all the time, I need to be rolled out. I'm like, it is the greatest food ever. It's fried chicken, smoked chicken, chicken fried steak, chicken tenders, and catfish.
Y'all, she just read the entire menu to you because they only have 5 options.
So it is something you definitely should go and enjoy with your family. It is family style. All the sides come out family style. So it's a really fun and unique opportunity. There's no TVs, and it's actually BYOB for alcohol. So if you want to bring in your Yeti cooler, bring it on in.
Yeah, and it's a fun atmosphere, great place for family, friends, large groups. So we want to throw it out there. They're not paying us to advertise this, but we love Babe's Chicken so much. We thought we had to throw it in there for you guys. Okay, and coming in at number 1, pros and cons, right? High cost of living.
Yeah, a desirable area with higher taxes, but beautiful neighborhoods, great communities. You kind of have to take it with what you will.
Yeah, there's the great thing about Frisco is it's such a large school district. I want to say, and guys, please don't, I might misquote myself here, 13 high schools, I believe, in Frisco.
I believe so. That was definitely the goal.
It continues. Every time I look up, I feel like there's a new high school in Frisco. So a lot of high schools, but they are highly rated in the education system. They are competitive on the sports side and the academics, right? So all of those things are highly rated in Frisco. So that cost of living does come with benefits. We have mentioned previously, like your insurance and your property taxes. So that property insurance is a little bit higher than what a lot of people are used to because of the damaging weather that we have and the replacement of roofs that tend to be a little more frequent than other parts of the country.
The other thing I wanted to mention is this is something you would see on your tax roll, but we do pay into Collin College. So this is a community college that you have access to by just living in Collin County. And if you live outside of Collin County, you pay a little bit extra to go to this community college, but it is now actually a 4-year college. So you can get a 4-year degree at this community college, and they have so many options. They offer real estate courses. They offer nursing, which is incredible because nursing school can be very expensive. They have begun to offer so many things that our tax dollars are going to. So you kind of do get to reap the benefits of that. And obviously your kids can go to college much, much cheaper than a university.
Much more cost effective. We probably should have discussed that.
No, Oklahoma State was way too good.
So Andy, if somebody is moving into Frisco, a lot of people see what we have in North Texas and what Frisco looks like, and they think, oh gosh, it's $1 million home or more.
Yeah.
That's not the case, right?
No, Frisco is very diverse when it comes to the housing market. There are options all the way from 450 all the way up to 20 million. I mean, there's options truly for everybody. Yeah. You are obviously at the 450 price point not going to be in downtown Frisco, and that is okay. There are some options in the 500 and 600 in downtown Frisco. You will be on the outskirts, but you're still getting into Frisco ISD, which if that's your priority, it is something that Frisco does have to offer, which is great. World Cup is being held here in 2026. Yeah, so there's lots of big sporting events to offer. And although they're not going to be in Frisco, they're very close, 20-minute drive. So really cool for obviously the future.
Yeah, I feel like we just like threw out so much information in that video.
We did.
And I'm hoping you guys got some really good information. If we did not answer all of your questions or if we created new ones, please feel free to drop your comments. Reach out to us, call us, send us an email. All of our information is here on our YouTube page. I don't know. Do you think Frisco is the right place?
I don't know. Depends on what you're looking for. But if you'll like, share, and subscribe, we will see you guys in our next video.